Hi YouTube. This is a video that it took me some time to really, this is why I'm doing it right now. I know there's a lot of people who are new to my channel who probably don't even know who my grandma is. So you guys are probably not going to find it interesting, but I do know there's people on this channel that know me personally that know about my grandma's passing but don't know all of it. So I'm going to be talking about the death of my grandma. So if you guys don't know my grandma, it's this beautiful lady right here. She was my everything. She was amazing. She was like a second mom to me. When you go through a divorce, I mean, at least for me, when I went through my parents' divorce, my grandparents were my life because that's where I would stay. I told you guys that as a child, I was pretty much at my nanny's house all the time. That's kind of why I know, like the Hindi that I know was from my nanny because my nanny doesn't speak English at home. And if I wasn't at my nanny's house, I would be with Grandma Marlene. Now, Grandma Marlene was amazing. She took me to all these places. Because of her, I don't have a fear of flying, which is why I'm going to Germany. Because I haven't been to Germany. And you know, that was, I've been to, I haven't been like in the city of Germany, like I've been in Germany, but it was only because I had a connecting flight. It was from like France to like Germany to somewhere else. I don't really remember, but that's like the only time I've been to Germany. But my grandma, when I was in junior high, I think this is when I started becoming aware of it, was she had Alzheimer's, basically. And if you don't know what Alzheimer's is, it's when you get older. Basically, okay, so basically, if you don't know what dementia is, Alzheimer's, I think, is a more, I don't know how to describe it, but she had Alzheimer's, which basically means her memory was, her memory was good at some points. Like, when she would drive, she would have a GPS to kind of help her, but she knew where she was going. But as she got older, her memory started getting worse. She got her license taken because she couldn't go anywhere. And she started forgetting her grandchildren's name. Now, I know for sure that she did not forget me because I'm one of the oldest. Now, I'm not the oldest because obviously I have Nick and Jeff and Sylvia. They're the oldest, but I'm the second oldest. Well, actually, no. Ryan would be second oldest, and then I would be third oldest. So I know that she didn't forget her older grandkids, but oh no, it'd be Hillary is second oldest, and then Ryan the third oldest, and then I'm the fourth oldest. So yeah, sorry, I have a lot of cousins on my dad's side. And when my grandma got really sick, things started to happen, and it was very scary because I had never experienced such evil. I've never been around such evil people in my entire life, and the things that I'm about to tell you guys, brace yourself. I mean, some of these are allegations, but some of these I experienced myself. So I'm just gonna tell you guys this right now. My grandma stayed at a very beautiful retirement home, but her husband Hans, who, not saying that all Nazis are evil, okay? If you're a Nazi, I'm not trying to say that you're evil. Coincidentally, he was a Nazi from Germany. So, Hans decided to be greedy. He's a very rich man. He used to work for Budweiser, so he had some dough. If you see the house he lived in, you would probably be pissed off that he's being greedy. But he decided to put my grandma in a very shitty retirement home. And I mean very shitty. I mean, you walk in and you can smell urine on the floor. It was disgusting. Honestly, I felt my heart kind of drop when I walked in there. It was terrible. I would never put anyone that I love in a place like that. Now, the place right now is actually gone. It's shut down. But at the time, it was not. So, my dad has a friend that works in carpet cleaning. So he would have his friend come and like clean the carpets, but that still didn't help. It still stank. Like, those of you who have been to my house in real life, when I had that front room, it was the same issue. It would smell like dog urine, and you couldn't get the smell out no matter what you did. And if you did, it didn't last that long. So my grandma was there for a while, and we started noticing that she had bed sores. I'm kind of summarizing this because it's a very long story, and I want to talk about what happened that led to her death, because I don't think she died of natural causes. I think, well, I'm going to tell you guys basically what I was told. I'm not sure if it's true, but this is what I was told. She started getting bed sores and shit, and we knew something wasn't right. Eventually, Hans decided to move her to another retirement home. It wasn't really a retirement home. It was more of a rehab center. I mean, it was technically, yes, it was a retirement home, but it felt more kind of like a hospital than it did a retirement home. It was kind of basically a rehabilitation center, but for I guess elder people, who are very fragile. I guess, I don't know. Now at this point, my grandma was pretty much gone. What me and my dad would do is, my dad is a pianist, so my dad always has his iPad with him when he plays the piano. All of his music is on his iPad. We would bring his iPad to the rehab place, and we would play music from my grandma. One of my grandma's favorite songs that I would never forget, and I actually have on my phone. I think I have my phone. If I don't, I'm gonna get it on my phone. It's "O Divine Redeemer" by the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. We actually played that song on her funeral because that's one of her favorite songs. In fact, my grandma, whose memory was so bad that she couldn't even talk, when she heard that song, my dad played it on his iPad, she went, wow. It was probably the most emotional thing that I ever witnessed, because, to see someone who can barely talk, just talk like it was nothing, it's overwhelming. It's kind of like when your child first starts talking, I guess, except in this case, she was getting worse. She wasn't getting better. And we knew, her time was kind of coming. And we started hearing things about my grandma. And there was a lot of talk on Facebook. I ended up no longer talking to her husband's side of the family because they were all on his side. And her daughter basically was only on daddy's side because daddy had money and daddy was paying her rent. And daddy let her have free stuff. So, of course, she was on her side. So I used to be really cool with his daughter, and now I'm not anymore. And my parents, every time I see her in public, they just roll their eyes. They don't even talk to her. It's a shame how evil people can be. But you know what? It's whatever. She tried to tell me that it was something else. I'm like, no, I don't think it is, because, Anyway, so we went to go visit my grandma one day. Now, my aunt had visited my grandma, I think 3 days before we went. And she said that she was fine. This is kind of when I knew something is up, because you don't go 3 days later and start dying. You know what I'm saying? That just doesn't happen. So we saw her, and we were shocked at what we saw, and I still have the memories in my head. My grandma was very skinny. She was very skinny, she was no longer taking food in. Very weak. Her mouth was wide open, she was literally dying. And my dad decided to go talk to the doctor to ask him when how long she would last. And Hans had told the doctors to not tell my father, who is her son, when she passes. So when I heard that, Charlie, are you being a good boy? When I heard that, I got really overwhelmed. Now, they did tell us that she was going to last a week. After a week, she wasn't going to be here. I don't know what happened after we visited her. I don't know if Hans came in and did something, or if we did something 3 days ago that led her up to her death. But after we left, about half an hour after we left, my dad got a phone call from the rehabilitation place, and she had passed in her sleep. And these places have doctors and stuff, so they can, and I mean, anyone can do this and see if they're cold. You know what I'm saying? But, they do have doctors there. And so usually I'm very sad when someone passes, especially when it's someone as close to me as my grandma. But I was relieved because her husband is such an evil man, and the things that he was first of all, what I didn't tell you guys was that he was brainwashing her because she had Alzheimer's. Her memory was gone, so he was telling her shit, saying that my dad, who works with people's money for a living, my dad sells insurance. He works with people's money for a living. My dad, in order to use his computer, you have to have his encryption password and his username. Like, my dad's job is very, you cannot, no, my dad was on pills because they went to court trying to sue my father for stealing my grandma's money, which he never did. My dad would sign, okay, her husband would sign using a false signature, pretending to be my grandma to get money. He was taking her money. So the day that I heard that she had passed, yes, I was sad to see my grandma like that and to know that I didn't even get to say goodbye. Yes, I was sad, but I was relieved. I didn't really cry because I knew, oh, thank God, she's gonna be in a better place. She didn't have to deal with evilness, you know. I was, oh my God, you don't even know. And I did experience some paranormal activity, I'm not gonna lie. A couple days after my grandma passed, I was sleeping in my room, and I used to have a TV in my room. I don't anymore, it's in the front. But I was sleeping in my room, and my TV turned on by itself. Now, usually I fall asleep watching TV, and the remote's usually on my bed, and I usually roll over it. But the remote was not on my bed. When I woke up that morning, the TV actually turned off by itself again. And then when I woke up that morning, I saw that my remote was on the dresser. My grandma did it after she passed. And I knew right away what had happened. I knew who did it because it was literally a couple days after she had passed. I was like, she's obviously giving me a warning sign, like, hey, I'm all right. Don't cry, don't worry about me. But it was the weirdest thing. Honestly, I was freaked out because I'd never experienced anything paranormal before. So I was like in my bed with the sheet on, like, what? Because you never really know, and spirits and ghosts can pretend to be other people. So I was like, hold on. I was like in my bed, and then after it turned off, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna ignore it. Like, you know what I mean? Because sometimes, you know, like, things happen during the night. Like if you sleep with your TV on, the power could go out. So that's what I thought it was at first. I was like, maybe the power went out. You know what I'm saying? So I just went back to bed. But when I woke up and saw my remote on the dresser, which is far from my bed, I knew something was up. The next paranormal thing that I experienced was at my dad's. Actually, no. My dad's was the last one. My mom's house, in my game room, where I now do my makeup and play video games. Well, I used to play games, but now I do my makeup in there as well. The light was flickering. It was turning on and off by itself for the longest time. My best friend and my mom's ex-boyfriend and their kids were here that day. And the light was like turning on and off. And we couldn't figure out why. And it was freaking everyone out except for me because I knew who was doing it. So I just said, you know what, just turn the light off, like shut the power off, don't worry about it. But even though she turned it off, Grandma turned it back on. So we just had to like ignore it. I told them, I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, I mean, it was kind of freaky, but I wasn't that scared because I had experienced my TV turning on. So I mean, really a light. So I think what we did was we took the light bulb out, I think. I'm not even sure, but it eventually stopped. But it was really freaky. And then at my dad's house, his microwave would turn on in the middle of the night. It would turn on and turn off. Like literally turn on. Like, you know when you're microwaving something, it would turn on and turn off. It would microwave for like 1 second and turn off. Then it would microwave for like 1 second and turn off again. And eventually it got really annoying. I'm one of those people where I have to sleep in peace and quiet. If there's even one noise, I won't be able to sleep. So I told my dad, like, you need to fix this because I'm not getting sleep. And at the time, he was at his condo, so I'm guessing I was a freshman. Or I was a sophomore. That's right, I was a sophomore when she passed. So I told my dad, I'm like, you need to fix this. Here's the creepy thing. So my dad goes, he gets a new microwave, takes the old one out. All of my grandma's recipes fell from the top, well, from the top of the microwave. He took it out. All of her recipes fell out. And he called me and he was like, Aliza, I need you to come over right now. You need to see this. And I came and he showed me all her recipes. And I couldn't help but cry because some of them were sent from her email, happygolfin@aol.net. So I was just like, whoa. And then I think after that, it pretty much died down. I mean, like every once in a while, I'll hear like a strange noise. I don't think much of it because, you know, a lot of people in my life had passed, you know. So, I mean, now I don't think about it because who could it be now? Like before, it was just my grandma. Now it's my grandma. Now it's Megan. Now it's my other nanny. And now it's Duke. So I have 4 people that are looking up at me. So who could it be making this noise? I don't know, and I really don't care because I know I love them all. That's kind of why I'm not really scared of paranormal activity that much because of all the weird occurrences and experiences that I've had. My phone is dying. But, yeah. And that is normal. It's very normal when you lose someone. In fact, for the longest time, and I don't know why I'm like this. I'm like this. For the first week that a loved one dies, I don't do anything inappropriate. Because I feel like they're watching me on the way to heaven. So like I don't do anything inappropriate. After that week, then I'm back. But it's like that week while they're descending to heaven, I don't do shit. I'm like, nope. I don't know why. I'm really weird like that. But I left my charger somewhere. But yeah, so that happened. And then after Duke passed, I don't think I experienced anything too weird. My cousin did say that she saw a big black shadow. Like in the front where he usually lays down. But I haven't seen anything, so I really don't know. Have you seen your brother? You itchy? Have you seen Dukas? You miss him, huh? See what I'm saying? I know you miss him. I know. My Charlie would never be the same. I'm telling you guys right now. I mean, he will always be a good boy, right, Charlie? But he has no one to play with now. He used to actually play with Duke. You're tired, huh? That's what depression does. It makes you sleepy every day. I would know. So I'm going to Europe and I'm going to be celebrating my grandma's life. In fact, next month, I keep forgetting the date, but I will tell you guys. I don't know because Victoria's coming over, so I might not go to MSP. But in October, I think it's October 16th. I'm not sure the exact date. It's the beginning of October. That's when she passed. So I'm gonna make a video talking about her. And Bubba too. We're gonna do one for Dukas too, okay? June 16th, okay? I'll have you sit right next to me. Charlie slept with him the last night before he passed, right, Dale? Charlie is an amazing brother. You do? Tell me. My Charlie. Let me get my charger, okay? I'm not gonna leave my darling. You better tell me your scary story because I want to hear it. I love scary shit. Oh, hell no. See, I have sleep paralysis. So I see shit all the time, and that shit's scary, bro. Hey, bunny. I think Victoria's here. You got a Skype? What's your Skype, girl? My baby Charlie is sleeping. I'm gonna go, you guys. Bye.